Hi guys, and welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at something a bit different from what we've seen until now. We'll be looking at dynamic texts and the different kinds of the dashboards that you can actually create by using these. So for example, this one that you see right here probably seems a bit different to you if you were paying attention to the last videos that we released. Because it's mainly text-based, so you can see that you have there some images, you have some charts there, but there's a lot of text here. This is basically almost like a newsletter. As you probably already understood, you can create something which is dynamic in terms of text. So you could have something like this with this text and everything updated to the last date. But you're probably thinking, hold on, okay, I can see that, for example, the charts are always fetching the last date available and whatnot, but what happens to the text? Won't it stay the same? And that's what we're going to be looking at today. So you can see that this text over here has some value there, like a 52 minutes, and you have the duration of the average time spent there by the viewers, and the rating, and lots of things that could change if the date changes. Now, this is special because the text is automatically calculated those values, and it's giving you information depending on the results of that day. So even the words, you can see the values there, but even these words like less, more, it has grown, it has decreased, it has stayed the same, everything like that can be dynamic. So if you look, for example, into this block of text here, in which it says less and decrease all in red, and then you have a small one there, an increase in green there. If you look at that one, you can see that it's basically telling you that the rating for that month, for the Fox group as a whole in Portugal, was smaller than the month before. Now you can see that it's in the chart there, but let's suppose that rather than comparing this September with August, in which we can see that the value is indeed smaller, we were to compare starting in August, so we can compare it to July, and you can see it should say the opposite. It should say more rating or something like that. Let's see what's happening here. So it works as any other region. So it has a layout, it has secondary features, and that's what's giving you intelligence, dynamic information. So if I were to select this and go to calendar, for example, let's unselect September here. And let's go here and select July, okay? So it should say the opposite now, because it will be comparing the other two. So let's run it and let's see what happens. So we can now see that it's actually saying something different. It's now telling you, okay, the rating is higher in relation to the last month. And if you combine this with dynamic data, it works brilliantly to build like a newsletter. And another neat thing about this dashboard, you guys know, if you saw the other videos, that we believe this is the best way to actually access your data. But as you can see, you can also build things that look nice in your PDF. So if you were to export this in PDF, I've already tried it, it looks beautiful. Now, let's scroll a bit further. I won't be showing you the whole dashboard because it's very long. It's just an example of what you could be creating inside of this application. And you can see you're just giving an overview. How did the month go? How did the different channels of Fox perform? Did they have certain periods in the day that were better than the others? If yes, were they all the same? You can see, for example, in this part, if you were to read all of this text, it would be telling you, look, indeed, for example, Fox Movies has a different pattern there. Maybe you want to look at that one. So there's lots of information here. Even this image here is dynamic, so you can see here it says something like the show that has the highest rating of all of the group's channels was New Amsterdam, and the picture which said no image before. When it knows that, it just gives you that image as well. So even the image can be dynamic. So that's one of the uses that you can give to dynamic text. But I'm going to show you another one before we end this. This is a bit longer of a video, by the way, but I think it's worth it. So if I show you this one right here, and again, the text here will be in Portuguese, but I will try to help you out with what's telling you. So you can see here you have the chart. This is the summary of what happened yesterday. This is like the daily coffee of dashboards here, and you can see a chart, a very normal looking chart, in which are comparing the top of yesterday with the previous month's average of each of the channels. Now what you can see here, this is basically a text that's just helping you read it. It's telling you the highest channel here yesterday was C. Okay, and C had a smaller value than the average from last month, for example. So you can do all these things to help you out and to help you read information in an easier way. Another thing you can do is to tell the viewer or the reader information that you cannot find inside of the video. So here we give you a widget with the top 10 of shows for yesterday. If you go here to the layout, you can see that's basically it. And then we do the same for the different typologies. So for example, in the news genre, what were the main ones? And we're just telling you in text form. And then I'll tell you the same here in amusement programs and then in sports. And you can just go ahead with it. And if there is any information that you want to portray, that you want to transmit to your reader, you can place it there. But maybe not, don't have it stealing the whole spotlight like this data table there. Okay, so now that we've seen that, again, you will be having opportunities to see this dashboard in another video, which will be called movements or switching, which basically we're going to be covering this part right here, but more on that in a later video. So right now the last thing that I want to show you is just how easy it is to create something like this. Okay, so we're just going to close that dashboard there. Let's create a very simple dynamic text there. So you would just go here, and I'm going to start with a data table just so you see what's happening here, okay? And let's say I want channel in lines and I want the rate. Okay. So if we have this, and let's select the main parameters here, the calendar, the channels, we're going to select three of them, and let's select channel target there. That's fine. Now this is pretty standard for you, and if I were to copy this and transform this into a dynamic text widget, let's see what will happen. I would go here, types, and change this to the dynamic annotation, which is the official name for this widget, and it would appear as a blank. Now, what you can do now, you can go here to the properties and to the text editor, and let's write something in. I can write something like this channel and a rating of, and then I could just go ahead and type 2.9, but that wouldn't be dynamic. So what I can do is just go here and do something like this. If I were to put 1.1, 1, you would get line 1 called 1. Say RTP1. If I were to change this and put 2.1, you can see that it's now fetching the value that I want. So I'm happy with that. I can leave it as that. So the only thing you have to do is create your text and give it some coordinates to fetch values from the data table. Now we have other things that you can do. So, for example, you have some functions here which you don't even need to memorize because they're already written. And change the coordinates. That's all you need to do. So you can see here you have three words with less, equal, and high. And I can just change them like that, and it basically will tell the application to select the word depending on this function. So if I were to compare, for example, 2.1 with 2.2, see, okay? By the way, the 2.2 would be 4.2, okay? And the 2.1 would be the 2.9. So you can see if I leave it at 2.1 with 2.1, well, it's obviously the same cell, so it will select the middle one, the equal. So you can see it's telling you equal there. If I were to select 2.2, it would say less, because 2.1 is less than 2.2 there, okay? 2.1 against 4 point something, for And if I were to do the opposite, so 2.2 against 2.1, it would say higher, okay? So you could just use that to build the rest of your text. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a bit on the long side because there's a lot of things you can do with it, and I hope to see you on the next one.